I'm Asil, 27 years old, and I make art for a living. Colorful feminine oil paintings. Oh, and I love to travel. Today, I'm saying Bonjour Paris, the city of love. You know those moments when you feel completely lost in your own thoughts, when everything feels chaotic, when motivation seems like a distant memory and inspiration feels like something that happens to other people? Sometimes the cure isn't found in your routine. It's found in doing something that makes you feel truly alive again. Paris has this way of waking up parts of your soul you forgot existed. Walking through these streets feels like stepping into a living fairy tale. There's this magical work-life balance here. The city pulses with energy, yet there's this underlying rhythm of slow, intentional living. It's fast, but never frantic, busy, but never breathless. Art is everywhere, in the architecture, in the fashion, in the pastries, and of course, in the art itself. Wandering through elegant boulevards, passing palaces that seem almost casual in their breathtaking beauty, exploring local neighborhoods, felt like falling deeper into a love story with this city. Maybe I'm being cliché, maybe I'm basic, but Paris is famous for a reason. It's romantic for a reason. As Audrey Hepburn once said, Paris is always a good idea, and now I understand why. Whether you're walking through the Jardin des Tuileries, passing by the Opéra Garnier, watching the Tour Eiffel sparkle, or sipping coffee along the Seine, every moment feels cinematic. Everyone is the main character in Paris. Old couples, best friends, someone sitting alone, people watching, laughing, sipping wine. That evening, our friends suggested this perfect pizza place. The food was incredible, the pizza was delicious, but what I remember forever is the symphony of laughter and conversation filling every table. Watching other groups of friends enjoying their meals, seeing the pure joy of shared moments, it reminded me that happiness often lives in these simple, unplanned experiences and gathering for a meal with friends. In the heart of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, my friend and I went to Les Deux Magots, one of Paris's most legendary cafés. For over a century, this has been where artists, writers, and dreamers gather to create magic. Picasso sketched here. Surrealists found their inspiration within these walls. Sitting at the same tables where creative legends once sat, I pulled out my sketchbook and drew the Parisian street scene unfolding before me. I was thinking of a watercolor sketch, but the table and the setting were a bit uncomfortable for watercolors, so I went with a pencil sketch, with the intention of completing the drawing in watercolor back home. With the most buttery croissant I've ever tasted and the perfect café au lait, I felt like I was living inside a romantic film. Just a girl with her best friend, each of us in our main character moments. Between sips of coffee and bursts of laughter, we slipped into one of those deep conversations, the kind that goes from light-hearted jokes to the deepest corners of your heart without you even realizing it. And there, I realized that This is what it means to romanticize your life, to find poetry in ordinary moments, beauty in connection, and magic in the simplest things. In Paris, there are two things, the city and the Louvre. Where do I even begin? The Louvre is a love letter to history, beauty, and human expression. It's the world's most visited museum, home to over 35,000 works of art spanning thousands of years. Yes, we went first to see the Mona Lisa, fighting crowds for those precious few seconds with her enigmatic smile. But the real magic happened wandering through halls filled with centuries of human creativity. French Revolution paintings that still pulse with passion. Italian masterpieces that transport you across time. And it was originally built as a fortress in the 12th century. It later became a royal palace before transforming into a public museum during the French Revolution. We searched for pieces from Lebanon, my heritage, and finding those small but precious historical connections felt good. The Egyptian section was closed, but somehow that made our Lebanese discoveries even more exciting. And obviously I missed Lebanon after that, so like any girl would do, I followed my stomach and went to eat Lebanese sandwiches. It was delicious. We started the day with the famous macarons from La Durée. I know some people call them overrated, but biting into those delicate shells filled with silky cream filling felt like tasting pure joy. Each flaky croissant with its creative filling was a little masterpiece, crisp on the outside, soft within, and utterly heavenly. Then, Versailles.
This, madame, is Versailles.
Walking through those opulent halls, I felt the weight of history in every gilded detail. The beauty is absolutely breathtaking. Room after room of artistic magnificence that speaks to humanity's capacity for creating wonder. But it also carries the heavy echo of inequality, of the stark divide between royal excess and common suffering that ultimately led to revolution. Standing in the Hall of Mirrors, surrounded by such majesty, I felt simultaneously like royalty and acutely aware of the complex, often painful history these walls have witnessed. Beauty and injustice, art and tyranny, all coexisting in this palace that continues to captivate centuries later. Our final morning at Café de l'Eugénie was pure heaven. The French pastries weren't just desserts, they were edible art. Each tart glistened like jewelry. Every eclair was architecture in miniature, melt in your mouth. Each bite was romantic in its own way. We ate cups of tiramisu, yes, also the cup, as a milky chocolate shell, a small masterpiece of sugar and love, literally art. The French have mastered the art of making everyday indulgences feel like special occasions. Paris made me feel alive again. It filled my heart with color and softness. I realized this city gave me exactly what I didn't know I needed. As someone who's always had a romantic soul, who grew up on Disney, who is obsessed with art, history, fashion, food, this trip reminded me of who I am. It showed me that romanticizing your life isn't escapism. It's a way of seeing magic in details others might miss. That when we romanticize life, we escape the mundane. We find joy in the simplest moments. We see beauty in the smallest things. We focus on what fills our cup rather than what empties it. Paris reminded me that beauty sometimes isn't just something you see, it's something you feel. It's in the way a city moves, how a stranger smiles, how a croissant crumbles, or how a painting stirs your soul. And maybe that's the real magic. When was the last time you felt moved by something? Not just inspired, but truly alive. Because sometimes, all it takes to feel like yourself again is to follow your curiosity, romanticize the moment, and let art, in all its forms, pull you back into your spark. À bientôt, Paris.